and I still have to build it all and shit. But like, I know what I'm roughly doing at the next location. I just don't want it to potentially glitch. The good thing is, when 1.6 updates, I can test my theory of like if both locations would have glitched, because I can load that save and see if both were going to be destroyed or if it's only one. So that'll be a good thing. The other thing too is that as long as my caravans are mostly out and waiting to settle at the new location, like if they're just up here chilling, ready to like hit settle, then that new location shouldn't hopefully be fucked. So yeah. The only problem I've got is arranging the bedding at the new location, because as you may notice, there are an awful lot of beds and I actually don't have enough at this location. I currently have like some of my people chilling in here, like old man Jay Lee and like a few other people are just like sleeping off in here, which I don't know if these two have got. Are these? Yeah, I still don't have enough beds. I only have 22 people in relationships, so, which is astounding for this size colony, but I guess it says a lot about RimWorld. So I actually only need 22 double beds. The only reason why I've done double beds for everything is in the event that somebody becomes a couple, I don't need to shuffle them out of their current bed to make them go use the new one. I don't have to pay attention to that, which is great, except it takes up more space. And I did some like frigging around with and the size of the rooms and stuff like that. I actually would like to offer my colonists a larger bedroom than this, but I kind of can't. Because like, basically the best way to put it is, hold on. I can't use here, this side of the map, to grow food on and stuff, right? And that's been severely capping my production and animals and stuff like that. Mate, I'm going to pause for a second because you're going to get a beat down for that. I know where he is. He's not supposed to have drugs. It's no drugs colony. Which reminds me, I have luciferium in my colony and I need to call a trader. So we'll deal with that in a second. But yeah, all of this void area here, sure, I could build a bridge and I could make like wooden houses, and we could have actually built out here and used all this for growing. But if you consider that I need at least this much space of green to be able to produce enough food for my colony, then I need to be able to fit most of my building of the colony into a space about this big across the entire map. Or otherwise, if I'm using more space than that, I'm literally wasting space on expanding my colony up to potentially 300. Alright, where are you, pigeon? Mate, we got chimpanzee and viper. Chimpanzee should be able to do it. Nobody needs to get their gun out. I see you with a little packaged survival meal, mate. Oh, wait, are you binging on ambrosia at the moment? No, you've got packaged survival meal. Where did the luciferium go? Okay, there it is. I didn't count how many we had to begin with, but there's 14. And I'm deeply concerned of, like, an original person getting their hands on that. I kind of want to burn it, but I do have a trader coming in. Let me see if I can find somebody else up here that can call for another trader. I've already called for one. Yeah, I bet he's down. I also forgot to save before that, so I guess that's fine. We're lucky. If Pigeon had died, then that would have actually been quite funny. Because normally I save before I do a beatdown. But I'll tell you what, he doesn't want drugs anymore, so I guess we're good for that. The only thing I do need to kind of make is more eyes. I've shut down the production of a lot of things. I also want to suspend the production of a bunch of advanced components, because I was having a look at some of the stuff that I need to make at the new location, and I don't need that many advanced components. I do need advanced components to make certain stuff, but having like 9, potentially 10 in surplus here to take with us will be probably more than enough. I hope. If not, I'll just fucking buy some more, I guess. But yeah, I need a lot of steel. Okay, let me explain the thought processing on this. Is I either have to waste my caravans going back and forth to take the literal items to the new location, or I have to pick up and make enough stuff from steel, which I have got enough steel, but we're talking like I'm probably not, well, we'll see. I'm probably not going to have 8 of these benches at the new location. We will see, though, because I still need to make a shit ton of eyeballs. I got people walking around with no eyes in this colony, because we fixed up like everything else, like the legs and the arms, and I didn't really consider how many people don't have eyes in my colony, and they're doing great. They're really doing so good. But like, I have hundreds of turrets. Like, hold on, let's do a quick count up, because they should all be in working order at the moment. Let me zoom out a bit. But I have so many turrets, and like, as I said, we've spent like a year here, so I've had plenty of time to acquire the resources and build, and it's not really a super huge issue if I can't just pick up and take all my stuff, but I still got to have the resources to replace it at the new location. Okay, it's capped at 200, so I have more than 200 turrets. I could probably find out. That's not all the way down, that'd be down to about there. Okay, it's probably about 220 odd turrets, right? Give or take. So I can either choose, these things should be about 8 kilos each, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I remember because I had to assess it when we moved last time. Yeah, 8 kilos. Okay, so I either have to account for 8 kilos by... Give me a calculator, where the fuck did you just go? Wait, did it just open and disappear? Hold on. What was that? Anyway, sorry, distracted. Let's say 220 by like 8 kilos. I'd need to waste 1,760 kilos in a caravan, which I could do. I could absolutely do that. It also means taking down the defenses of here, but also not having defenses at the new location. I also would like to deconstruct a whole bunch of solar and stuff, because once I don't have the turrets online, I'll have way too much energy and we'll definitely get like zit events. So I could definitely take down a heap of shit in here. The hospital beds and stuff like that, I think last time I ended up taking only the legendaries and excellent aboves, and the rest of them I just deconstructed or sold. Hey Zoe, welcome in. You're planning on moving the colony? So I was planning to move to 9, and we've got a DLC and version update coming in potentially a month. And like, you may or may not know that the last location we were at, this one, we never got fully set up at. We had to emergency evacuate and abandon a lot of stuff, because when 1.5 updated, it glitched out the location. It basically like wiped out the background terrain, like all this like the dirt and like flooring and stuff like that. You can see none of that shit, but it glitched it out and it slowed the game down to almost not playable. And I had like 260 odd people there or something like that, I think. I don't fucking know. Hey Top Red Bear, welcome in. And it also caused other glitches, like the caravan glitches started then. So, you know, where they'd empty it as they were loading it, so they left without food. So what I'm trying to kind of do is I'm bringing home my caravans that are out and about. Just waiting for Tonlo to finish mining this gold, and then we'll go, because nobody else can deconstruct these. I was sending another one to it, but I don't see the point. Now, out in the world, I've got a bunch of other locations that have got gold, and there's plasteel and all sorts of stuff. And honestly, the compacted plasteel would probably be the one worth it, because that shit's also expensive. So it's good shit to sell, but I think with 30,000 wood, we're kind of good for selling shit. But yeah, I'm trying to like work out the logistics of moving in a month's time, since I was prepared to go today. So like, I'm trying to work out like, what am I willing to pack up and throw in a caravan? How many caravans can I reasonably expect to send from the distance of here down, like this will take a couple of days because this slows them down. And then this will slow them down. They can only pass through here. Then they can get on the road and they can kind of go up and around through here, at least down the road, and we're settling up in here, right? But if I move too soon and my caravans are waiting, they can get attacked. They can also make the people very unhappy. They can run out of food. A lot of things can happen. But it also, if I take too long after 1.6 happens, what can happen is the game can basically slow down to almost not playable, and or, you know, I can have a whole bunch of glitches that I'm not prepared for that can make it next to impossible to leave. So, yeah. I was pretty addicted to RimWorld, but no way I could withstand this TPS. I mean, each to their own. I've been playing this particular colony for 2 years and 3 months, and we're on our 3rd location, and we're planning to move to our 4th. No performance mods, 6 mods total, 282 colonists, plus 2 prisoners, and probably about 400 or 500 animals and shit. So I'd rather play with this than have like 5 people skittling around all over the place, setting shit on fire, and probably killing themselves within the week. But that's personally me. Like, I've got an objective with this colony. I'm going somewhere. The other thing too is I deconstructed the long range scanners, by the way. Also welcome in, Bob. So we're still going to try to get the underground stuff because I still want steel. I'm going to need like a lot of steel at the new place because like I've got to reconstruct. I think it's, hold on, I wrote down how many solar. Not there. Where did I write down the amount of solar? I may have put it in my spreadsheet instead. Hold on. I thought I like wrote some of this down. Maybe not. Okay, I wrote down how many beds, medical beds, how many couples, and like I did a rough count of like a few things, but like I can't remember specifically, what do you call it, how many solar. I think it was like 260, give or take, because you can only count like 200 at a time, right? We could do that. Hold on. Let me stay near the center of the thing, and I'll do a quick count without the other side. Are you going to do an ideology or DLC focus playthrough next? No. I'm not specifically interested in the DLCs. I don't mind Anomaly. I do find that that's pretty interesting. But then again, it's mostly just because it's got like some darker themes and some like, I don't know, just interesting stuff to it. But even then, when that came out, I still wasn't interested in it either. But like Ideology, the Religion one, and hold on, what are the DLCs? Give me a sec. I don't remember them off the top of my head. Yeah, show me the list. Nope. Okay. There's what Anomaly was interesting. I'll never have biotech because I fucking hate kids. Ideology doesn't specifically interest me, and royalty doesn't interest me. Are there any others? No. Not yet. Not at the moment. Yeah. So I definitely won't be doing that. In the event that my colony... Sorry, I didn't realize I was up in the top corner. In the event that my colony dies, crashes, or fails to fight, like to get to the landed ship quest and get off the planet, in the event that that happens, I will start again with 21 colonists again. And who knows, maybe somebody from this colony, we'll see. But same mods, no DLCs, and hopefully the landed ship quest will be somewhere we can go to, and hopefully my colony will be the kind of compatibility group that aren't killing each other non-stop. Because to be honest, you really gotta have like the right kind of load in of people that like each other. Because I've loaded in 3 times with the same colonist so far. My last colony, Nido, they didn't have all 21. I think I started with like 11, and they fucking hated each other. From the moment we loaded in, they were just slaughtering each other non-fucking stop. They were tantruming, slaughtering, fucking breaking shit, everything. And I think I got like, I think it was like 10 months in with that colony. We got like about 100 or so people, And we just got one day where I was going through a lot of medical stuff, okay? So I was just perpetually exhausted. I was like sleeping like 20 hours a day sometimes. And I was really tired and I was just really done with their shit. And I just sat there and watched and let them just go at themselves instead of trying to intervene. And the colony imploded. It was an hour-long spectacle. It's on YouTube. You can find it. It's literally called like imploding or something like that. Hold on, I can find it. I will breathe. Hold on. I'll breathe while I'm looking it up. It's called Imploding, Killing My RimWorld Colony. And it happened on the 7th of the 3rd, 2023. So it will be on, like, let's see, YouTube back then was like a month to 2 months behind. So, I guess either way, it's probably like be a video 2 years ago, but it'll be in the Nido folder in the playlist on YouTube, so it will be findable. But yeah, I had no chill that day. I was just like, you know what? Let's see what happens. And it was like, yeah, 50 odd minutes of just murder. And I can't like fully remember how that one went. But I'm pretty sure we had like a manhunter attack or something. And that took out the men in black that came in to like save the colony. Which was kind of funny because he came in to like save it and there was no saving it. The other thing too, we've got like nearly 4,000 simple meals, which is great because that's gonna give my people food here when I take all the longevity food out of here to the new place and use it in the caravans too. That'd be another thing. I'll have to compensate for the there and back trips of that. And that should be fine. The other thing too is I also want to send a bunch of these and I want to know how much they weigh because I could launch them. 35 kilos. I could send a couple. By the way, I did calculate before while I was talking and there was like 184 solar panels. So I have to have somewhere around that for the new place. Reminder to breathe, redeem. I have it because people don't think I breathe. And I do, because like I talk a lot, but I also talk fast and constant. And there's a lot of people that, especially like a while back, that just didn't think that I fucking require oxygen. Or sometimes they find that I'm going too fast and they'll redeem it to shut me up for like a minute or something. But it depends. Sometimes I'll just do like an inhale or sometimes I'll take a couple of inhales. Depends what I'm doing. But yeah. Next playthrough, if this one succeeds, like if we got all the way to the landed ship quest, basically I would say the next playthrough I want to do is I want to make a single colony, probably not move, only move like once or twice, and I want to try to wipe out all of my enemies on the map. Basically, it doesn't have to be this specific map or my current colony, but yeah, that would be my plan for that. I don't know how hard that would be, especially since I have like very populated map, but that would take a fucking while. There's a pretty good chance in that case scenario that my colony would probably like die, or I would take like people would get hurt and like I'd lose people and stuff. I imagine they're probably like the lost child of Eminem. You know, the funniest thing is, like, I don't think you're the only person to reference me to, like, Eminem. And I don't really mind that either because, like, the shit that he does is, like, so great. Like, if you try to sing to one of his songs, it's fucking hard. And, like, I'm okay on, like, the breathing in and out, like, on inhale and exhale stuff. So... like, I'm not quite sure his lung capacity, but I don't think he has asthma. You know, commitment mode or save the relevant pawns. In reference to what, Jokemeister? I'm guessing you're talking about, like, the complete, like, wiping out playthrough? I'm guessing? But, I don't know. I always save anyway. Like, I'd still probably save the game, do the battle. It would just be a lot more intense battling, I think. And hyper defending my main base. Because the raids I'd probably get on that would be insane. So, I don't know. I reckon I'd be saving it just because, like, I don't really play anything on mode except for when we do Rim Connect. When we do Rim Connect is where you guys get, like, a fresh save. I start the game with whoever the game gives me, and, like, I just try to see how long I could keep them alive while everybody spawns shit on me. And the general objective of that day is for people to attempt to destroy the colony. And obviously there's nice people that obviously do also spawn things to assist me or try to keep me alive and stuff. So that's always appreciated, especially when, like, we get, like, several people with some decent, like, points going hard. Like, Keelon, for example, I believe they have about 200,000 Rim Connect silver for my streams. And if I'm not 100% sure if that's just, like, I think the way it works is it's just per streamer per game, I think. Somebody fucking correct me on that if I'm wrong, but that was kind of my understanding, because it's not sort of like 7 days. 7 days is kind of like you build up points. You kind of keep building up points as long as you're connected with that streamer, I think. Whereas Rim Connect, I think, is per stream. Because if it's per stream, I could actually survive for a bit. But I know that, like, Keelon was, like, lurking in the last stream that I did that day. And I had the stats so high for silver, and they just came back in, like, the last couple of minutes, and they missed out on being able to, like, absolutely cause the finale, because I had the world-ending, set on there. So, like, if you guys wanted to have destroyed the planet or whatever, you guys could have wiped out my full colony in one hit, whatever. So, like, I did leave stuff like that on. But yeah, I don't know. That will be at the end of the month, by the way. I gotta remember that's coming up. Like, I remember it, but, like, I'm, like, week to week at the moment, mentally. It's just, like, I feel like there's so much happening. Remember temperature fluctuating wild between 200 degrees and minus 200 degrees? It was like that. I remember turning on this, and I had, like, it was stone blue, or it was, like, as red as their names when they're hurt. And I'm just, like, I think everybody was barbecuing on the last one because so many people redeemed cold snap, because I only had, like, a couple of second cooldown for most of the things. And so everybody was redeeming, like, cold snap, and it got really, really cold, and a whole bunch of people tried to redeem heat wave to fix it. But then as soon as the cold waves wore off, the heat wave cooked everyone. And, like, I couldn't get somebody into safety. I was trying. I had like a underground area that had, like, passive cooler, I think, because I couldn't get an air conditioner working. And yeah, that was about as good as we got. But it was like with this place, like, for instance, not Rim Connect, but, you know, there's certain things, like, we didn't get heaters until, like, the 4th or so fucking winter. So we had, like, little fires and stuff, so it kept going hypothermia a whole heap. And then, of course, as everybody knows, when you don't have enough beds, they sleep in the freezer for some reason. And that's usually enough to, like, down them in winter and lose a few limbs and all sorts of shit. So, I mean, I don't know. RimWorld does shit. And, well, that's a RimWorld moment. Well, okay, so if I recall right, we had, like, 3 games, I think, that day run. And we had... the first game was completely overrun by rats and corpses. Somebody kept spawning Raining Men, which kept spawning in fucking corpses. And so everywhere was, like, going to shit, and Like, I think that would have been worse if we had have had, like, anomaly, because Raining Men probably plus, like, you know, the reanimated corpses and stuff like that probably would have done something together. I don't know for sure. I'm just trying to find somebody to go do a trade at the moment. But yeah, I don't know. It was just like a frame rate nightmare, and that was on like a little game too. That was the wildest part. I think it was just because of the amount of shit that was happening, and then everybody kept spawning in like pets for themselves, like animals and stuff, and somebody kept fucking killing everybody. I'm turning that one off this time, but I may enable it back on during one game without like notifying anybody. We'll see. But yeah, my only concern with that is if I turn it off, everybody might overwhelm my colony with too many animals. I'd love to just pick up my entire colony's worth of people, dump that into a game, and be like, have at, you know, like a fresh game and stuff. The tactical boom, oh my god, the tactical fucking boom rats too. I remember that. It was like, everybody kept setting them in, and I don't know what you guys were doing to blow them up specifically, but yeah. We had a lot of explosions. We had a lot of fires. I know I changed stuff as I was playing, like, between the maps. I changed stuff around. But, like, you guys would find, like, the next possible exploit until, like, the third one. The third one was only where you could do, like, weather events and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not too bad until we started cooking everybody. And I think we had tornadoes as well. I vaguely remember, like, a lot of tornadoes. People were, like, trying to wipe people out like that. It's just Smegly. Smegly. It's very close. So I was, like, also looking at, like, the names and stuff while I was doing this. I want to get trade with them, but I also want to find somebody else that can call in for a different trader. Like, you've got enough you could call a trader. I'm pretty sure we've called 1 and 2. Maybe we called 4... I don't know. We'll go find out. I'll call for people and we'll see what we can and can't call. Because who are you guys? In one. So they're purple. Yeah. Also, what was it I was going to look at with purple? There was, he's an older dude, has a decent beard. There was something I was going to do with him. That's right. Humorous. We looked up what that was. That was like a leg, isn't it? Anyway. I was going to replace your leg if we have one. Because I realized he's got like a cancer thing and I wasn't going to do anything about it because I couldn't remember what the fuck a humerus was, but I'm pretty certain it's a leg. We'll change it and we'll find out. Let's see. Yeah, get a bulk goods trader. And I'll get back on you in a second. I want to get a... Do I not have bionics? No. Wait, what the fuck is this? Exercise carcinoma. What the hell? I haven't seen this before. Medical 10, medical operation speed. Does it just kill them if... You know what? I can just, he's got 25% chance of death. I want to see what that does. Go lay down in hospital, mate. Also, where was, Anasan? Don't run away. I want to call the other traders too. But I know bring them all in at the same time is just going to piss each other off. Until I think here, they're, well, tactical boom rats. Alright. I don't think I called for green previously. Nah. Okay, so it's been long enough for all of them. Cool. I don't like that they're all going to come in at the same time, but first things first, we're going to see if this lot would appreciate some luciferium so we can get that shit out of my colony. Preferably. But yeah. The other thing too is I am going to keep growing stuff probably until like we're almost ready to go, and then I'll set it that they don't sow it anymore. Same with the beds. I might actually just keep the legendaries and above and shit. Alright, first thing before I forget, luciferium. We don't usually have any kind of drugs here, but we had a battle. We had a little battle. A very little battle. It was like, I don't know, 6 to 8 people. It was like one of those like kind of not even worth it little battles. I'm gonna get chem fuel because I don't think I've got enough for sending stuff to a new location. Got meat. I could definitely do with meat. I've been trying to grow chocolate, but I think the animals keep eating it. 3,000. I could sell animals, but I want to keep some. I've got furs and stuff. I don't want to sell that. You've got steel. I do need steel here in a new place. What else have you got? You got books. I guess following trauma. Triumphant near jungle. I don't want your beer. I do have a lot of hats. People have been taking off the hats, but it is also like mid-fall. The only thing is if I sell all the clothes, they should make fresh stuff. I guess you guys could take the statues. I should stop the production of the statues, actually. The other thing, too, is I have fucking thousands of stones in my colony. And I kind of don't want to haul that. But at the same time, I have thousands of stones. And it would make just building in a new location so simple. So, maybe. Okay, I actually have enough stuff. Well, I've got multiple traders on the way, so let's not waste our gear. I was gonna go and, like, buy whatever I wanted from them on top of what I needed. But, I think we'll just go with that. You can get them going. That should get the drugs out of the colony immediately. I don't think I saw ambrosia on that sale list, though. Hold on. Somebody's had ambrosia. This is a no drugs colony, by the way. Now, it could be a cat. I do have a few cats that are kind of like high and shit in my colony. Find drugs and like they'll just go have it. But I really think that's more likely somebody helped themselves. It probably won't be like myself or wherever. Just be a matter of like, I'm not going to go through every single colonist to find who it is. But it would be very, very cool to find out who it was. I don't know what I'd do to them. I'd probably just revoke their medical privileges a bit. I don't think they would have been fed to any of my patients. I doubt it. Could have been. Yeah, so the other thing too is because this is no drugs colony, what tends to kind of happen is that I do have a few chemical fascination people and I've got a few people that will go on drug binges and stuff, but they're not allowed to. So they'll basically like get a smackdown, put in hospital, prison, or whatever they need. And yeah, but I can't kind of stop the animals from just going and eating it. One of my caravans is back. This one should be... Is it on that way? The hell's the site behind it? I'm seeing like... Oh, it's going past the other mining thing. That's what it is. I could see like there was a shape behind it. I wasn't quite able to like click on it properly, but yeah, no, that's fine. I thought it was like doing one of those like previous settlement things, but no, everybody's on their way home. This should be the one that went to trade the Parkers, right? What did I trade for? Apart from Psychic Shock Lancers, I've got Chem Fuel. Did I write down what I traded for? No. That's okay. I will have like probably components, Nutrien, and other various stuff on these. There are Psychic Super Pulses, I'm gonna need that. No, what are you doing, Asora? Azora's like stretching. He's kind of like stretching out my mouse. Anywho, I also noticed that like they never made the doors back here, but the fallen down roof. I wonder. Hold on. That is a social fight. You'll be right, mate. Make sure to build a roof back in here. I do know that like some of it is just like natural, what do you call it? Roof thing. I'll see about mining this out. Like the wall should be